Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to take a deep breath, slow things down a bit, and look at financial markets from a completely new vantage point. We often see trading charts as these cold, mathematical grids filled with random lines and chaotic noise. It's really easy to get lost in all those numbers. But today, I want to show you the pulse of human emotion hiding right beneath that surface. We're going to decode the actual behavior behind the data. Now, I want you to hold on to this specific thought as we go through the material today. Prices do not bounce off magic lines, they bounce off crowds of people making the same decision. When we look at technical charts, we aren't looking at geometry or physics here. We're looking at a visual record of collective human memory. It's literally an emotional map of fear, greed, and regret. And honestly, once you learn how to read these underlying emotions, you're never going to look at a chart the exact same way again. So let's establish our foundation. What exactly are we looking at when we open up a chart? Well, this brings us to our first core concept, which is support. Think of support as the floor beneath the market. It's a price level where buying interest increases just enough to halt a downward trend. And why does this happen? It's because traders collectively remember that the price previously bounced from this exact level. It's kind of like finding a discount that's just too good to pass up. When the price drops down there again, sheer demand simply overwhelms the supply. Buyers rush in, and the floor holds.
Now picture that exact same behavior, but completely in reverse. This is resistance. It basically acts as the ceiling above the market. Resistance forms when a critical mass of participants decides a price is simply too high. The party's over. Selling pressure increases, supply overwhelms demand, and that upward momentum is stopped right in its tracks. And the crazy thing is, they didn't hold a secret meeting to coordinate this. They just independently agreed it was time to take their profits and run. So that psychological ceiling becomes a barrier that the price just cannot push through. To truly grasp this, we need to meet the actual people drawing these charts. The crowds we talked about earlier are generally divided into three emotional camps. First off, you have the longs. These are the folks who bought near support. They're thrilled, maybe feeling a little greedy, and just hoping the price dips back to that floor so they can buy even more. Then you've got the shorts. They bet on the price falling, but it went up against them. So now they're sweating, feeling totally trapped, and basically praying for the price to drop back down just so they can hit the exit button and break even. And finally, the uncommitted. They hesitated, missed the rally, and are now suffering from some agonizing FOMO, fear of missing out, just waiting for a safe dip so they can jump in. Every single bounce on a chart is just the collision of these three highly emotional groups trying to fix their past mistakes. Real quick, before we look at how professionals actually map out this psychological warfare on their screens, I'm curious, which stock or asset would you like us to map next? Let us know down in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying this calm, structured approach to understanding the markets, please take a quick moment to subscribe so you don't miss our future explainers. It really truly helps us keep bringing you these insights. Okay, so if you want to spot these hidden crowds on your own screens, there is a massive trap you need to avoid. Novices will very often draw a single, rigid line on a specific price point. Say they're expecting a stock to bounce magically at exactly $1.14. But professionals, they take a completely different approach. They draw flexible zones of interest. See, they know they're tracking messy human behavior, not exact physics. One individual trader might buy at $1.13, another at $1.15. So a rigid, perfect line, it just doesn't capture reality. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that support and resistance are emotional battlegrounds. They are not physical barriers. Because people don't all execute trades at the exact same micropenny, these areas have a lot of give to them. Instead of imagining a concrete wall, picture a trampoline. Price might sink heavily into the zone, stretching the fabric as buyers and sellers relentlessly fight it out before eventually springing back out. The deeper it pushes into that zone without breaking, well, the more tension builds up. Let's actually look at this in practice. Notice the activity right around the 27.50 level here. The price pushes up to that zone, then gets rejected and falls right back. It tries again and fails again. Now, this isn't random noise. This is the visible footprint of a heavy zone of interest where sellers consistently overwhelm buyers. It creates this thick layer of resistance, keeping the price suppressed until, eventually, that critical mass of sellers is totally exhausted. But what happens when that trampoline finally breaks? What happens when the sellers run out of ammunition? Well, this brings us to one of the most fascinating phenomena in all of technical analysis, the principle of polarity. Simply put, this is when the floor becomes the ceiling, or vice versa. The moment a support level is decisively breached, its psychological nature flips entirely.
The old barrier transforms into something completely new for the market participants. So why does this polarity flip actually happen? Once again, it's driven entirely by market psychology. Just imagine an area of support breaks and the price falls. Remember those longs we talked about who bought at the floor thinking it was perfectly safe? Well, they're now trapped, just watching their money evaporate. Time passes, and the price eventually rallies back to that old floor. Those trapped buyers are so incredibly relieved to just get their money back that they immediately sell to break even. And that sudden flood of relief selling, that turns the old floor into a brand new ceiling. All of this really boils down to the magic of market memory. The more times a level is tested, the more significant it becomes in the collective psychology of the market. People remember exactly where they bought, where they absolutely panicked, or where they missed out on a golden opportunity. This memory creates a literal self-fulfilling prophecy every single time the price revisits that zone. The more traders observe a bounce, the more they expect it, and their collective actions actually create the very bounce they were anticipating in the first place.
The main takeaway from this explainer is that every bounce, every line, and every zone you see is just a story of human behavior playing out in real time. The next time you open up a trading platform, don't look for cold mathematical patterns. Look for the fear. Look for the hope. Look at a chart today and ask yourself, are you just seeing random lines, or can you finally spot the hidden crowds? Thank you so much for exploring this with us, and I'll see you in the next explainer.